and log in, you can see we'll be getting navigated. Also, we'll be getting our snack bar here. In this video, we'll be adding state management under our authentication flow of our Amazon clone. So if you have followed me in the previous tutorials, we have completed the following integration of our backend with our front end. Right now, we are able to log in under our application and also create new account with the help of our backend. Now in this video, I want to use a proper state management so that once the user will be logged in or once he will be signed up under our application, he will be navigated to the next screen with the help of proper state management. Alright, so here you can see we have got two different methods for sign up and also login. So now once I try to log in under my application, let's create a new account. So alright, so I remember, I guess we have a previous account here for Aniket. And yeah, so we have aniket@gmail.com, and also we have his password to be very easy password to be guessed. So if I tap login, I guess we are able to print some data in our debug console. All right, so you can see we are getting a data back that is signed to be true and message to be the entire JWT. Now we need to carry out this process pragmatically with the help of our state management. So if you have seen the following video that I have uploaded yesterday for block state management, you better know how block and qubit works. Right. So if you don't know what is block and what is qubit, kindly watch that video because I won't be explaining everything about block and qubit in this video. So now what I'll be doing, I can go under my pubspec.yaml file, right? Pubspec.yaml file, and here I will be getting a dependency of Flutter block. Now Flutter block will be used to handle the state management, that is to use the state management of block and qubit under our existing Flutter application. So right now what I can do, I can go under my domain folder, and here I will be getting a new folder for all qubit. So right now there will be no file but a folder of all the qubits. Right. So here under this, I'll be creating a new folder here. So under this folder, I will be calling this folder to be authentication, where we will be creating all the authentication qubits. Right. So here I'll be calling this thing to be authentication. Right. So you can see our authentication qubit is created. That is, we have got our authentication qubit, and also we have got a state, that is our authentication initial state. Also the following abstract class. So now what I will be doing, I will be integrating the following authentication qubit with our authentication repository. So for that purpose, you need to simply create a new instance. So here I will be getting authentication repository to be authentication repository. And here we will be creating this thing to be required flag. So I'll say this will be under an instance of authentication repository. Now once this thing is done, what we need to do, we need to create some wrapper methods around these functions. So for that purpose, what we need to do, I can simply create a new future method. So let's call this feature method to be login. We should be having same names around the wrapper and also the base method. So now let's copy the credentials. So the following credentials are this one, and also I can call it to be a sign up method. Right. The following future method will be asynchronous. So let's make it asynchronous. So now what we need to do, at the initial state, the following state of our sign up method will be authentication initial. Right. So here I'll be calling a try catch block. So under my try catch block, I'll be simply emitting authentication initial, right, at the start of this entire method. Also, once the following thing is done, what I can do, I can use the following authentication repository instance to access my sign up method. So now here you can see we are simply printing up our entire body, right? So now what I can do, I can simply say final body is equal to response dot body. So right now what we can do, we can simply return our entire body. We can copy the entire process and paste it under our sign up block as well. So right now you can see we are returning our entire body, which is nothing but simply a string, right? So now we can take the value of the string. So I can simply say string, let's say underscore response is equal to under await state for authentication repository dot sign up. It will be requiring a customer email and also a customer password. So right now we can simply print the response for at this state. So I can simply say print underscore response, right? So now what I can do, I can simply say if underscore response is not empty, if we have got some data, or what I can also do, I can simply change the following thing to a response, and I can simply say if this thing is equal to null, or if this thing is not equal to null, we can simply return a response one more time. I'll simply say return a response. Also, we'll be catching all the errors. So what I'll be doing, I can go under my authentication state and I can create some more states where I can say authentication initial, and here I'll say authentication loading, and here I can say authentication completed, and also I can have a authentication error. So here I'll be simply having a state of error, and under the state of error, I will be having a string to be error. Right now, I can have the instantiation, so I can say authentication error, and under this, I can instantiate my required flag for this dot error. So once this thing is done, I can go under my catch block and I can simply say emit authentication error, and the error will be nothing but e dot toString. So this will be simply the process for catching the errors. Where I can simply emit a new state if the response is not null. So the state will be nothing but simply authentication completed, right? And we don't require authentication initial here, so I can simply say authentication loading while we are trying to signing up. So this will be our primary method for now. So I can copy the entire block and I can paste it here. So I'll calling the following method to be login, and I can simply have login method one more time. So the following thing will be nothing but simply the login function and similarly the name of the method. So this will be our boilerplate method for now. So right now what we need to do, we can go under our library, and here I'll be creating a new file for all the custom blocks. Now if you have seen the previous video, that is a block video, you better know what are block providers. So I can simply say custom block provider dot dart. So under this, what I can do, I can go under my main.dart and I can have my new class there. So I'll change the following core class to Lava for now. And what we can do, here I'll be creating a new class for all the core, right? So here I can simply instantiate a new core just like this. And the following return statement will be not returning a container, but a multi-block provider, right? So let's import everything. And also let's import our block. Right now you can see I'll be requiring a child, and also I'll be requiring all the providers. So right now what I can do, I can have my children of all the providers. That is a list of all the providers. So I can simply say block. So under create, we can have our context. So here I can have a context, and the following thing will be throwing us to nothing but simply authentication qubit, and it will be requiring authentication repository. So I can simply say authentication repository to be the instantiation. Now once this thing is done, we can have a types here as well. So I will be having a type to be authentication qubit. Now I'll be requiring a child here. So now what I can do, under my Lava, let's import the core first, just like this. And under my Lava, what we can do, we can have the instantiation of all the routes, or we can have a directly one, or we can simply have app router. So right now what we can do, we can simply have a child to be Lava. So I'll be simply having a Lava. So this will be the entire case for our core class, right? So now what we need to do, here you can see we have got our entire Lava. So I'll be simply closing my entire application once and debugging it one more time. So simply press F5 to debug our entire application. Now until this thing is loading, what we can do, we can go under a login view for now. So I can simply go under login view, and here you can see we have got a boilerplate entire UI. So what we can do, we can copy the container for this side, and I can simply say widget, let's say login form, and here I'll simply return the entire container. Right, so we can also copy the entire login form for this side, and we can add it under the build method, just like this. Right, so here we need to return a login form for now. So I can simply say a login form. All right, so here I'll be having a login form. All right, so now what we need to do, if you have seen the previous video, we need to have a different body. So the body will be nothing but simply a block listener. So I can simply have a block listener. It will be requiring two different arguments to be interfaces. So I'll be simply having authentication qubit and also authentication state. After this, I will be having a builder, not a builder but listener for now. So under listener, I will be having a context and also the state. Right, we will be also requiring a child here. So the child of our block listener will be a block builder. Right, so it will be requiring two arguments, authentication qubit and authentication state. Right, authentication state, just like this. So it will be requiring a builder here. So under builder, I will be passing my context and also a state. And here I can simply return the login form for now. Simply press Ctrl and S. Right, so now you can see no changes will be happening here. So right now what we can do, we can add the method for logging in under our application. So for that purpose, what we can really do, we can have the instantiation of our block listener. So I'll simply say block provider, and not block provider but simply authentication qubit. For authentication qubit is equal to block provider, right? And here I'll be having the following value. Let's say block provider dot of the context, and here I'll simply say listen value to be false for now. because we need to listen to the values, not to render the UI. So I'll simply say the type will be authentication qubit. So now what we need to do, on tapping over the selected button, we need to handle the authentication. So I'll simply say authentication qubit dot login for now, and this will be the following credentials. Let's remove this stuff for now, and here we need to add some string. So I'll simply say a string of customer email should be equal to email controller dot text. Also we can have a customer password. So I'll say customer password for a password controller dot text. Right now this will be the entire thing. Right, so we can remove the instantiation of authentication repo, because we will be contacting our block instead of the direct repo. Right now on tapping over it, we should be able to authenticate, that is we should be able to log in. But right now what I can do, I'll be going under my authentication qubit, and first of all I will be checking if the value is empty or not for the text fields. So I can copy the response block, and I'll simply say if customer email is not empty and customer password is not empty, if the following things are not empty, we can simply execute the following method, else I'll emit a new state. So for that purpose, I'll say authentication, or we can directly emit authentication error. So what I can do, we can simply emit authentication error. The error will be nothing but simply fill the credentials. So this will be the following case. So now let's try to execute this. So what I'll be doing here under block listener, we can execute the following thing of if if state is authentication error, we can simply show a snack bar. So for now we can create an individual snack bar. So here I'll simply say show snack bar. Under this we can have a new snack bar, and the content will be nothing but simply a text. The text will be nothing but state dot error. All right, so let's go under authentication qubit, and also let's try to add the same method for our login thing. So I can copy the entire block. Right, so the block is ending here. So I can copy the entire block of code, not the entire block, and here I'll simply say the method to be login one. Right, let's have login, and that's it. All right, so I guess we need to execute this block, one more block outside the following block of authentication is not empty. Right, so if I type it here, you can see we'll be getting our fill the credentials option. Easy. So what I can do, I can copy the same block from this side and I can paste it here. Right, so you can see on typing over it, we'll be able to handle the following error of filling the credentials. Right. So right now what we can do, we can authenticate our entire process. So now let's try to add some values. So if I say aniket@gmail.com, or before that, what we can do, we can go back, and here we can say authentication completed, right? So I'll listen to authentication completed state as well. So I'll simply say authentication completed thing. So I'll say authentication, if the state is authentication completed, I can simply say login is successful, right? So here I'll simply say, let's say aniket@gmail.com, and here I'll simply say a block, that is a password, not a block, right? So if I type it here, you can see login is successful. Right now what we can do, we need to also cache the value of the JWT, right? So what we can do, we can go under state of authentication completed, and we can add a response here. So I'll simply say dynamic response, right? So what I'll be doing, I'll simply executing the default constructor. So I'll simply say authentication completed, and here it is a required is dot response, right? So if the following thing is completed, I can simply say response is nothing but simply underscore response. Similarly here I'll say response with nothing but simply underscore response. So now what we can do, we can show the following authentication completed value. So I'll simply say authentication successful, and the value of value to be, let's say state dot response, right? So let's try to log in one more time. So I'll simply say aniket@gmail.com, and the password will be, yes, you guess it right, the default password, this one, login, and you can see we'll be getting our message of signed to be true and some message, right? So you can see we are successfully able to log in under our application. Now what we need to do, over the condition of signed to be true, we need to forward the user, that is we need to navigate the user to the next screen, right? So now let's start doing that thing. So what we can do, we can go back, and here you can see we are getting a response, right? So now what I can do, I'll be getting a separate layer for it. So under my domain, that is under my data, I'll be creating a new folder for all the networks, right? All the network classes. So under network, first of all, I will be creating a network class for authentication. So I'll simply say authentication dot network dot dart. Right. So the network class will be exactly like our repository. So I can go under my network and paste everything here. But I'll calling this thing to be authentication network service. Right. So the following methods will be same. Right. So I can go under auth repo and we won't be executing these methods here. What I'll be doing, first of all, my authentication repo will be requiring an instance of my authentication network. So I'll simply say, let's say final. Sorry for that. I'll simply say authentication network service for authentication network service. And I won't be requiring my clients and anything. So I'll simply create a new constructor for it. So let's say a constant constructor for auth repository. So I'll simply say auth repository. It will be requiring argument of this dot authentication service. Right. So now what we'll be doing, first of all, we'll be adding a try catch block here. Or we don't require a try catch block because we are adding a try catch block under our qubits. So I'll simply say here, let's say variable response will be equal to authentication network service dot sign up. Right. So now we need to decode the value here. So I'll simply say final map, and I'll simply say string dynamic of, let's say, parse data will be equal to for JSON decode, and our value will be response dot to string. Right. So right now let's start to print the parse data. Right. And also I'll say return the parse data. All right. And we can execute the same process under our login method. So the method will be nothing but simply login. So I'll simply say a login phrase. Right. So this will be it under our repository. Now what we need to do, we need to make certain changes under our custom block providers. So my authentication repo will be also requiring a authentication network service will be authentication network service. Right. So this is our entire layered architecture. That is clean architecture. So right now what I can do, I can go under my auth qubit, and if I try to log in now, if I simply say, all right, I guess we are having some error. So let's go under problems. And yeah, so it will be requiring authentication network service for authentication network service. Yeah, so the entire block is completed for now. So let's try to log in now. All right. So one more time for Aniket at gmail.com. Same old password. Let's try to log in. All right. So the type null is not a type of function result, right? So I guess we also need to execute the value first. So right now, let's try to print the value first, right? So I'll try to print the response here, right? We are printing the response as well. So let's go to debug console. All right, we are getting the value of type null is not a subtype of network service. So close the entire application and open it one more time. All right, so now let's try to debug the entire thing step by step. So I can go under my login method of my repo, and you can see we are first of all, let's try to print the JSON decode data. If I go under my login method, you can see we are returning our entire body, right? The body is nothing but a string. And if I go back here, the following response is nothing but a future dynamic. So I can simply await for it, right? So we need to await for it. Also, let's try to await for it under our sign up block. If I hover over it, it will be a type of dynamic, right? So now let's try to execute the process. Let's open a debug console, and here I'll simply say Aniket at gmail.com, and also some password login. All right, so you can see the login is successful, but we are getting our JSON parse data. So right now what we can do, we can show some, we can add some value of JWT. So right now you can see the response will be nothing but a type of dynamic. That is not a dynamic, but a map. So right now under my response, what I can do, I'll simply say here, variable response should be equal to, let's say state dot response. So what I can do, I can execute it, that is I can decode the value here, but I'll decode the value under my block. So here what I can do, while authentication is completed, I can simply say string or a boolean is signed should be equal to the response. So I'll simply say response, and from the response you can see the response of will be a sign, right? So I can simply say response of sign. Also I can simply say a string of JWT will be equal to underscore response, and from the response I can have the value of message. So let's have the value of message, and what I can do, I can copy the JWT and send a JWT instead of the entire response. So if I try to log in now and log in, you can see I will be getting only JWT instead of the entire JSON block. So what we do, what we have done so far, if I go and show to you, we are having some parsing of data. Under this for parsing, we have JSON decode and we are adding a response or toString. We are also printing the data and returning it back. And here, while decoding it, I am decoding the value of signed and message separately. So you can see we are simply sending our JWT instead of the entire JSON. So right now, what we can do, I can create a new view for a fake home view. So here under views, I will be creating a home view. So under home, let's have some demo. Let's say home.view.dart. And here I'll be having a stateless widget of home view. So here let's have our scaffold, collaborate scaffold. So if I go under my app routes, what we can do, we can copy the sign block and paste it here. And I'll simply say a home and it will be a home view. So right now what we can do, we can go back under authentication qubit and here I'll simply say navigator dot of context. Right, so we will be also requiring the build context here. So let's have required build context for a context. So right now, let's try to navigate to the next screen. So push name /home. So we don't need to return the response for now. Yeah. So here I can copy the block and I can simply say if is signed. Right. Is signed. Navigate to the next screen. Right. So this should be the entire process. So let's try to execute for the last time. And yeah, under login block, if I go, where are we getting the error? Right, so under login, we will be requiring a context for sure. So let's have context for a context. So let's try to authenticate. Let's try to navigate. So if I simply say Aniket at let's say gmail.com, and if I simply say here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and login, you can see we'll be getting navigated. Also, we'll be getting our snack bar here. So this is the entire process of handling the state and also navigating to the next screen. So you can do the same thing for the sign up process. This will be a small homework. So you have to do the same thing here. We have to check whether the following value of customer email is null or not. And you have to navigate the user based on your response from your server. So this was all for today. We are successfully able to navigate to the next screen. Also, we are able to successfully check in the value of our authentication, that is our JWT. So till then, please hit that like button on this video and comment something, comment anything. It will be only reaching out the video to the more people. So try to complete the sign up process and I'll show you the complete code of sign up process in the next video. Till then, have a good day.